Sean Sewell with the Engearment.com podcast. It is June 5th, 2024, about 2 weeks since our last podcast. Since then, we've had a lot of fun reviews, testing opportunities, festivals, and upcoming trade shows to get ready for. So in this episode, I'll go over what the team has been up to, like I always do, as well as catch you up to speed on things to look forward to in the near future. And like I mentioned in the last episode, we now have a sponsor, Mark Sisson and Brad Kearns, Primal Blueprint, Primal Kitchen, have a new company called Paluva. They are a shoe company, and they sent over a pair of shoes a couple months ago for Ryan and I to go test out in the gym, Existence Athletics. We dig them. They offered to sponsor the podcast, so we said yes. And that's that. So moving forward, let's get into what we've been up to. The riders have been busy. Kate Agathon especially. She has cranked out quite a few reviews up in Silverthorne, Colorado, where her and her partner Paul, fellow Engearment rider, and their dogs Sansa and Benjen, yes, they're Game of Thrones fans, where they live and recreate. Kuhl Cultivator jacket, as well as a Kuhl Free Flex jogger. She has written reviews on those. Some Gore Wear spin shift cycling kit, like a jacket, top, all kinds of stuff from Gore. Dovetail workwear, go-to stretch canvas pants, and most recently the outdoor research Ferocity hybrid leggings. Good work, Kate. I don't give her enough credit on these podcasts. I always go right to the YouTube channel, and I forget to mention we have a website. We have for a decade now, and that's where a lot of the riders contribute, where they do their written reviews. Not all the riders want to do video reviews or social media, so it's fun to work with proper journalists like Kate, who are really good at the written review. And then Paul is really good at taking awesome pics of Kate doing fun stuff in the mountains for her reviews. So thank you, Paul, and thank you, Kate. Jumping over to the YouTube, which is where I like to put my time, because I like to shoot videos outside as well and show you where we're using the gear. So we've been using the Thule Epos 2 bike rack for the last few months. This is a really, really nice bike rack. It folds up so you can take it off your vehicle and store it in a garage or a closet or some more, space-saving use there. It's the version we have actually has taillights to integrate into your 4-pin system. If you have that, like on our 4Runner, we have that. So we use that to our advantage. We plug in, and then I have turn signals and brake lights and, flashers and all that. It's a really, really nice bike rack. Might be my favorite. It'll handle 2, I believe, 70-pound bikes. So that handles most of the e-bikes that we're testing, which leads me to my next review, which is an ongoing review. This is going to be a long-term review. I cannot believe. Well, let me tell you a little story. So when we moved about 2 months ago into our new home, I gave away a lot of stuff. I gave away quite a few sizable items to my friends and colleagues and family members in hopes they would encourage them to get outdoors. I'm talking about big things like solo stoves, pizza ovens, bicycles, e-bikes. So at the end of the month, the first month of moving in, I realized I gave away all my bikes, except for one. I have one huge, the Monster Quiet Cat, still have that. But I was like, oh man, I would have loved to have gone for a bike ride today or taken a bike on a trail or somewhere. And so kind of kicking myself for giving away all the bikes. I should have just kept one, because it is summertime now and it's very pleasant outside and nice. We have good access to the Highland Canal and other areas around here. So it was Mother's Day. I was planting flowers for my mother-in-law, Kelly, and I got a text from the person who purchased our home, our condo, our old place. And he said, "Hey, Sean, there's a big box on the porch. I think it's a bicycle." So I swing by after planting the flowers, swing by my old place. It was bittersweet memories and see some neighbors and their dogs and stuff. And as sure as heck, there's a box there from Salsa. And I had to pinch myself because Salsa is a really, really good bike company. And this is their brand new Tributary Eagle e-bike. It's a gravel bike with a motor. It is awesome. So I've been zipping around on that thing here in Denver and cannot wait to get that out on some proper trails here in the next few weeks. It is mud season right now, so where we go, where we were camping last night, is still covered in snow. So about 2 more weeks and I get that on some proper trails and get some more coverage. But I have a preview on it, the Salsa Tributary Eagle e-bike preview. It's just awesome. I cannot believe that we have that to test. So that is going to see a lot of coverage. And thank you, Salsa, for the opportunity. And that goes on our Thule Epos 2 e-bike. Now, Thule also sent over a topper. It's on my wife's vehicle, so we're reviewing that, as well as a series of duffel bags that go into that topper. So stay tuned for that. Speaking of Thule, I'm editing the video for it right now. They sent over their 25-liter everyday backpack as well. So I'll review on that. But they also sent over something for our colleague, Devin Dowd, the Thule Subterra 2 roller bag and Subterra 2 weekend bag. So by trade, Devin not only is a senior writer with Engearment, but she's a project manager, and she travels around the country quite often. So this was really good timing because she's been traveling nonstop, so the Thule luggage has been put to use. So she has a review up on both of those luggage items. And then Allbirds. We're big fans of Allbirds. Devin's a big fan of Allbirds. My wife's a big fan of Allbirds. They have a couple new shoes, and they sent over the super light wool runners. And as you probably gathered from the name, they're made of merino wool. They're super light, and they're very, very comfortable. So comfortable that after about 2 days of using them, I went out and bought a second pair myself. So I didn't want to run out of these shoes. They're that comfortable. So I got the review up on those. And then something kind of fun. We do a lot of microphones and cameras and stuff to create the content for you guys. And one of them, this thing right here, is a Godox. This is actually a set of microphones. It pops open and out come this little wireless microphone. That is wild. So we use those in conjunction with the Rode, and the DJI microphones. So that was cool to get to test something before it came to market, which is, probably about 20% of the time when we're reviewing stuff is before it comes to market. I'll tease you another one, pre-production stuff for REI. REI sent over 2 backpacks for us to test before they go live. That's pretty awesome. REI has a lot of my money over the last X amount of decades. So it's cool to get to work with them on testing out some of their gear that will hopefully be put to use by a lot of you guys out there, because it's usually pretty cost to entry is pretty good, pretty fair, I should say, as the REI house brand usually has great features for a lot less than other name brand stuff. Something to look forward to there. Patagonia. Speaking of high end, Patagonia, the Houdini Stash half zip. It's kind of funny. I had a schedule. I usually get the test stuff out. And with Patagonia especially, I would shoot these videos on the gear, not totally realizing that the gear is not even out yet, and people get a little heated. They're like, well, I can't go out and purchase this thing for another 8 months. And so I had to cool my jets on this one. I've had it since, probably 8 months. And so if I finally was able to ethically release that video, and I shot it on Sean's run, actually, while splitboarding. So that was a lot of fun. All right, Spy. We do a lot of work with Spy over the years. The Helm Tech sunglasses. These are fun sunglasses. They actually have a shade on the side that's removable. So really good for times on the water, or in my case, on the snow. As the light reflects off the snow, it can cause quite a bit of irritation. Brewmate. It's a Denver-based company. We have 2 things we're working on. The Paragon Hydration Pack, which is a really fancy hydration pack that uses a double wall insulated water bottle instead of a plasticky PFAS nightmare of a reservoir. And then the Brewmate MagPack 24 soft-sided cooler. Reminds me a lot of like the Hydro Flask soft-sided coolers we reviewed several years ago. It's very nice stuff. Nemo Quasar Double Insulated Sleeping Pad. Been big fans of Nemo for well over a decade, and it's fun to get to work with them to test out this insulated sleeping pad. It's very, very comfortable. So I have a review up on that. And Chloe Dog, our dog Chloe, gets to be a big part of that because I shot it inside our rooftop tent as we're camping in the snowstorm. So that was pretty fun getting Chloe on there. And then this next item, I hope makes it to Costco because it's really, really useful and the price point's pretty fair. It's the T-Sec 360 swivel camp chair. What this is kind of like it's a camp chair that folds up really small. It's just one piece. You just kind of undo the Velcro and then deploy the chair. But it swivels in 360. It's so useful. I didn't know that a chair could do that. I mean, this chair I'm in right now can do that, but it's not a camping chair. And I would not take this backpacking or camping. This one is awesome because you can take it. You can be tending to the fire, swivel over, check on the kiddos, swivel over, check on the dog, swivel 180 and talk to fellow camping friends. It's pretty awesome. And then Marmot, the Sawtooth Double Wide Sleeping Bag. This is a 650 water-resistant down-filled sleeping bag that I paired with the Nemo Quasar. And now both those live in our rooftop tent, the Thule rooftop tent we've reviewed. And I'm a big fan of double-wide sleeping bags. Usually, honestly, I use them with my dog, Chloe. But now that it's June, my wife, Sammy, and I will be sharing that very soon. It's nicely made, and it's water-resistant down, which is always nice. Kuhl. I did a review on some Kuhl stuff finally. Well, used to do a lot, but it's nice to get back to it. Kuhl Renegade Rock Shorts. So it's the Renegade, which were my favorite shorts, and probably a lot of your favorite shorts. Then the Rock version has a little more taut fit, a little more robust materials. It's pretty nice. Got a review up on that. Our buddy Dan over in Hawaii, he's upped a level of production for the Engearment videos, so it's been inspiring. He's actually inspired me to level it up and try CapCut. So if you see the videos and you're wondering what the difference is we're using CapCut now instead of iMovie. Yes, we've been using iMovie for a decade, and it works fine. I might go back to it, but the CapCut has a lot more graphics and it can support HDR, which when we're shooting in some cameras like the Insta360 X3, as well as your iPhone shoots in HDR. Did you know that? So to properly utilize that high dynamic range, you need a software better than iMovie. So CapCut, it's been pretty fun. And we're using the CapCut Pro in case you're curious. I think it's worth the extra few bucks, like $90 for a year or something. And then Mammut Huoko 2 GTX shoes, those will go live on Friday. They're a Gore-Tex based knitted shoe from Mammut. And I've been rocking those the last few weeks here in mud season. And it's actually just out hiking in them today and last night when we were camping. And they're great. Actually, I fell asleep with them on. They're so comfortable because they're knitted construction. And then my buddy Ryan Humphreys knocked out of the park with tomorrow's scheduled video, the TrueWork T1 work pants. He's so fun. It's one of the most entertaining videos. Yeah. They're the pants that he and I work in the most. They're a Denver-based company, TrueWork, and they're stretchy like my Kuhl pants or Prana. And the layout is just perfect. I have 3 pairs of the T1. He has 1 or 2 pairs of the T1, and we literally live in those pants nonstop as we're coaching at the gym. Speaking of coaching at the gym, it'd be a nice place for me to, I guess, advertise or recommend one of the courses. Well, actually 3 courses we're hosting. My buddy Matthew Flaherty is coming out from NYC. He's going to actually stay here, guest bedroom in the other room. And he is going to host at our gym, Existence Athletics, here in middle of July, so about a month from now, one of my favorite courses, the Flexible Steel course. This is a movement, mobility, flexibility certification. You can become a certified instructor like I am in this modality, and it's all basically body weight, some kettlebells or dumbbells, but mostly just body weight, mobility drills to open up and increase range of motion safely, and flexibility. I use it every session, every day when I'm coaching people, as well as for myself. Even before I go to do activities like splitboarding or hiking, I do these drills. It doesn't have to be just weight training, it can be any kind of activity. So I'm going to take that course again with Matthew at our gym. And then he's also going to teach a Wim Hof course the day before. So I've never experienced a proper Wim Hof certification or course. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And just for the heck of it, while he's in town, he's going to also teach us Indian clubs. So in my old studio, I had the Indian clubs in the corner, but they're out of range right now. Otherwise, I would show you. They're basically like bowling pin looking weights that have been around for quite a long time. So Matthew Flaherty is going to show us how to use those. I'm looking forward to that. And then the next seminar that I know for sure we are hosting is with Matthew Flaherty, Ryan Humphreys, Abby Sylvester's, and my hero and friend, Brett Jones, will Yes, Brett Jones will be at our gym, I think for the first time ever at our location, to host the Strong First Level 2 certification, as well as his Iron Cardio, which is his book he wrote. It's a very cool program. I've enjoyed it. So it's going to be an awesome opportunity to get to work with my friend, mentor, and hero, Brett Jones, in our gym, Existence Athletic, and that'll be in September. I know we just had Karen Smith here 2 weeks ago for the bodyweight certification, one of the best instructors on the planet. Took that bodyweight certification in 2017. It's incredible. It's awesome stuff, and it's just bodyweight. It's based off of Pavel's Naked Warrior book, which is a great book, still available on Amazon, other places. I'd recommend checking it out if you're into calisthenics and bodyweight conditioning, pistol squats, handstand push-ups, hollow holds, dragon flags, stuff like that. Okay. Something fun happened here in Denver. And again, this is another pinch me experience. I have a lot of those, and I want to share them because they're really important to acknowledge them. And I hope that you have pinch me moments as well. So in a previous lifetime, I worked in the corporate world for 12+ years in a law firm doing accounting. Can you imagine that? Doing accounting, IT work. And actually, I started in the mailroom, worked my way up to accounting and IT. But on my lunch break, I would go grab a Backpacker magazine or Outside magazine and sit under the only tree in the whole downtown block. There's just like 1 or 2 trees possibly. I would just sit under them and read and fantasize and go into, I'd visualize I'm living inside the pictures of, let's say, Outside magazine. And that was a big antithesis for me wanting to create Engearment with my buddy Dave and share our love for the outdoors with all of you and incorporate fitness, because that's a very important component. That's why I started Colorado Personal Fitness. So all this fantasizing and daydreaming happened while I was working in the corporate world, and I'd be reading the Outside magazine. And about a month ago, Outside Magazine's PR company reached out and invited myself and some of the Engearment writers to their first ever Outside Magazine Outdoor Fest, which was a combination of music. We had the Heavy and Lettuce, which is a really fun jam band, and a bunch of other really cool bands performing outside. And then in a separate section, there was the big gear show, which I'll get into in a second, which was a trade show, but then it was open to the public on Saturday and Sunday. And then a third part of the exhibit, I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I was hoping to on day 2. Shaun White. Yeah, that Shaun White. Jimmy Chin. Yes, that Jimmy Chin. Conrad Anker. I don't even need to explain to you how awesome Conrad is. And a bunch of other athletes in that realm were giving speeches at the art museum, the Denver Art Museum. And I missed that. I was at the jam band section and also helping my friend Steven Starks film a pilot episode with Outside TV for a cooking show. It's a really fun cooking show. This is a fun story. And I can't wait to plant this seed because I want to see this come to fruition in Steve's garden. He's planted the seed a couple years ago with me about starting this cooking show. I won't give it away because it's not signed yet for him, but he's the mountain chef. He's the person I go to for cooking tips. He's a masterful chef. When we did our backpacking trip with Outdoor Research, Scarpa, Royal Robbins, and MSR, he was the chef that was hired to come along. And so him and I just enjoy his cooking and his company. He's a great guy. So he's like, "Hey, Sean, can you bring a couple cameras and come over and film this thing I'm doing at the base of the Capitol? Literally, the Capitol is right here." And he's hosting a cooking show for Outside Magazine. It'll probably go live here next 6 months or so. And it was so fun. The goal of what Steve's trying to do is to show people, city people, he's a big black man, long dreadlocks, very handsome fella. And he's trying to show people that you can get outdoors, you can cook outside. It's not impossible to get to go do, right? Even if it's grilling a hot dog over a trash can, dumpster, not dumpster, but like a trash can grill, you don't have to go get the Traeger and be bougie. You can just go outside and heat up some noodles and, you're eating outside and you're outside, which is his goal. So I'm filming this, the B-roll for it. You got these professional camera people, and I guess I'm professional to an extent, but I've got my camera. I got him mic'd up. I got the chefs mic'd up, and it was so fun. And my wife gets involved. She's there with me because it's a fun double date. We're there with Clay and his girlfriend Jess, who works for the North Face, and she's an awesome person. So we're there at this Outside Magazine cook-off pilot show, and Steven asked my wife, Sammy, aka Hot Dog, hey, would you be one of the judges? There's 3 judges total. It'll be Steve, a chef that's not participating, and my wife. And she's like, she's game for most anything. She says yes. Now, if there's one area of her life she is not adventurous in, it is food. She's raised Midwestern, like pizza, hamburgers, not even hot dogs, very middle of the road, doesn't eat beans, mushrooms, fish. So there's a lot of things that could go sideways, right? In a cook-off, especially like good caliber food. So they're preparing their dishes, and I know there's a package of fish. She does not eat fish. Can't pay her to eat fish. The first appetizer was shrimp, actually. And she ate it, and amazingly, she liked it. So now tonight I'm cooking some shrimp for her. I'm going to try and get her on the seafood kick. I love fish. I love seafood. So the second dish was fish. It was ceviche, which is almost raw, basically, right? And she ate that. It was really fun because she was on camera and she couldn't like not eat this food, and she did. And thank God she did. And thank God for that pressure. I'm not into using pressure to change anything, but thanks to that pressure, she tried and ate that food and liked it. So thank you, Steve, for creating the opportunity to get my wife to eat fish. And also much success to your show. Yeah, I think that gets you caught up. The Outside Music Fest, the Strong First and Flexible Steel seminars. What are we working on right now? What are we working on? Oh, we have Outdoor Market Alliance coming up in July, so about a month from now. We were up camping last night and shooting videos for the REI Flash Air 50 liter and Trail 40, which will be coming out here pretty soon. The Thule backpack. Oh, the Mystery Ranch Radix 57 liter backpack I've had for like a year now. Finally get to release my coverage on that. So stay tuned for that. Some other stuff. Exped, working on some stuff for Exped. Night Eyes. And I have a Moss air purifier, they sent over. I've got to look into that. Anyways, I think that's enough time I've taken up of your time. Lots going on over here. Thank you for all the awesome comments and questions and support. I would love interacting with all you guys out there. And on the next podcast or 2 podcasts from now, I'm hoping to have Russell Cunningham back on, and we're going to talk about some pretty interesting stuff outside of splitboarding. So stay tuned for that. I'm Sean Sewell, Engearment.com. Until next time, take care.